Is it ever? Oh, Hangouts on the Air is live. Hello. It's the Bucketlist Boys, Season 2, Episode 13. Why are we the Bucketlist Boys? Is live. Oh, and I didn't mute my channel. We always have a flub to start the show. Is that not wonderful? It wasn't intentional. It seems like we always do something. Like I said, I titled it "Why Are We the Bucketlist Boys?" because anybody that's kind of kept up with drone therapy, it's kind of evolved throughout the time that it's been on the air. And so Bill and I hooked up, and Ron and I have been talking for a while, and so I had invited them to come on, and we were going to do Season 2 kind of with this panel, kind of the older bunch. And it took us a while to kind of throw the name around. And I was jokingly one day said that we ought to be the Bucketlist Boys, and we all laughed, and it kind of stuck that way. And with that being said, and kind of giving you an introduction to the Bucketlist Boys, I wanted to let our panel members and my friends and co-hosts explain what they do on their channels, and maybe get you all to go. Maybe they can mention a video or two that they're proud of that they want you to go check out. So with that being said, I will pass it to Mr. Ron Brown.
Hello. Thank you, Bill. Hello, everybody watching in the chat room tonight. I'm glad to be here again, and thank Bill Thomas again for letting me be one of the Bucketlist Boys. That's almost all his handle. He comes up with the best stuff. Bill's so creative. But now that I'm done buttering up Bill Thomas, I'll go on a little bit about my channel. I've been on YouTube. It doesn't say I've been on this long, but I've been on YouTube, I think, since before Google bought them. I used to put my own videos on as a place to save them, so they wouldn't get lost or whatever. So around 2000, I think it was Christmas of 2015, my wife got me a little SEMA X5 for Christmas. So I got into drones then. I don't think I posted any videos of the SEMA initially, but when I got about 6 months later, I purchased a Phantom 4 in the summer of 2016. And that's when I first started putting drone videos on YouTube. And, at first, they weren't too popular, but, the better I got at making the videos and so on, they gained more popularity. And, so I kept buying drones. The channel kept getting more popular. Then I started doing other things like reviews of iPhones and, GoPro cameras and stuff like that. So now I mostly do drones, but I do a lot of other little camera gear and tech gear on the side too. A little bit of travel in the channel. I have a couple travel videos to the Caribbean, into Utah, New Mexico, and Oregon. And some of them involve drones, and some of them are mostly just, again, video from iPhones and GoPros and so on. So that's basically my channel in a nutshell here. I just recently crossed over 1,000 subs just last month, so that was like a big milestone. I never thought I would get there. I think I've said this before in the channel. One of my first subscribers was DJ Soulforce, who just used Soulforce quads or drones now. He's changed the channel name, but he subscribed to me when he said, "You got more videos up and you got subscribers," and he kind of helped me get started and build up my base a little bit, and taught me a lot of tricks and stuff along the way. So I owe a little bit to DJ Soulforce, and you guys probably all know Quad 101. He's got a huge channel. He's got over 150,000 subs, and his name's Jim. And in the beginning, Jim was real helpful to me. I probably knew Jim when he only had like 25,000 subs or something like that, and he was real helpful with me with my early drones and my channel and stuff like that too. So I'll throw a little shout out to him, and Perth West, OZRC, and Birdman Cruise, and they've been helpful to me for a long time, been good friends of mine. So that's about it on the the channel history of the channel. So I probably put everybody to sleep with that, so I'm going to throw it over to Bill H, and he can talk to you about how he started his big channel up. He's a lot more successful than I am.
Thanks, Ron. A lot of hard work. I first got started with the channel. I have a sister channel. Many of you probably don't even know that. It's called Bill the Technology Reviewer. I actually started that before Bill the Drone Reviewer. And one of the things that frustrated me, I saw a lot of good drone reviews out there. I mean, a lot of good ones. But the thing that really frustrated me was they were long. They were 15, 20, 25 minutes long. And I said, you know what? I think I can do a better product in a shorter amount of time. So that was the whole premise for starting my channel, was to do reviews that were short, succinct, and to the point, and not a lot of fluff. And I got started out, and I got my first video out there. And the first two people that commented on my video were Kelly Shores and Donnie, Big Drone Flyer 77. And they got me started. They were unbelievably nice with lots of good encouragement. And yeah, there was a lot of fumbling at first. It just, you know, it's, as Sean Cannell says, YouTube expert, you know, you don't try and then, you know, get out there and try, because if you don't, you know, you won't succeed. And that's exactly what I did. I went out there, I tried, and it's a work in progress. It really is. And you know, to be able to get my message out and get it out in the format that I wanted to, I think it's taken a hold, and I'm real thankful. I'm knocking on the door for 6,000 subscribers, and thank you for all who are in the chat who subscribe or subscriber to me. You know, that's what my channel is for, you guys, and it's all about you guys. And I have a passion for helping people. I got a big thrill being able to help, and I know Art's on the chat tonight, being able to help out Art in a way. You know, I also have a passion for several of my subscribers are handicapped, and be able to help them, and be able to make flying a drone easier for them. So, you know, those are some things that I'm passionate about. And it was great getting hooked up with Bill, and things really started taking off about that point in time when I got hooked up with Bill. And he is just, I can't say enough nice things about him. He's fantastic. And having Ron on here, the three of us, this is just absolutely fantastic. I can't, I'm thrilled to be a part of this. We have a lot of fun, and you probably saw us last night on my channel. It was great. Had a great time, and no police action last night, which was good. So with all that being said, I'm going to turn this back over to Mr. Bill Thomas.
Well, I thank you very much. Now, we do have chemistry. Now, I don't think we got quite Bradley Cooper and Lady Gaga chemistry, but we got chemistry. So I do enjoy hanging out with you guys, and we do seem to get a lot of information out each week when we're on here. With that being said, I'm going to throw it back to Ron here in just a second, because Ron wanted to... Hang on a second. I'm going to go ahead and throw it to Ron now, because I think my daughter's cleaning very thoroughly. Go ahead, Ron.
Thank you, Bill. Hi. Before I get into what I want to talk about tonight, he's in the chat room now, so I want to shout out Marcus Crawford. He's better known as Idaho Sledhead as his channel name, and the Sledhead comes from, he used to have a, you know, he lives in a snow environment. He had a, you know, what do you call those? They're, you know, you ride a snowmobile. So, but Marcus has a great channel. He's a fellow Xeno owner like me, and he has done a great job of reviews and coverage of the Xeno, better than me. I don't think anybody has made better videos on the Xeno than Marcus has. So if you have any interest in Xenos, go over and please visit his channel on YouTube, Idaho Sledhead, and you can follow him on Facebook as Marcus Crawford. He's a member of the drone, what is it? It's Shaw's group or whatever, the drone seekers. Thank you, Bill. Thank you. And he also has just recently purchased a used Phantom 4, which he's going to get into also. And I'm an owner of the original Phantom 4, which is still a great drone. So watch his reviews of the Phantom 4 also. Okay, so we started a little thing last week's episode. We called it, you know, I think I've called a different name every time, but way back Wednesdays. Did I call it retro? Let's go with way back Wednesdays. That's kind of a cool name, right, Bill?
Yeah, I like way back. That's good.
Okay, so I'm going to do way back Wednesdays. I'm also going to combine it with a another thing we talked about, the drone exchange program, which we're going to get into in a minute. But real quick, I just got sent a new drone for review. It's called a Potansic. It's a little kind of, it's not a tiny Whoop, but it's got the inducted fans like a Whoop. And it was sent by an Amazon seller. They want me to do a review of it. It has a camera on it, a tilting camera actually, and it has a phone app. You can fly it Wi-Fi FPV. You could even put a cheap pair of VR goggles on and fly with the goggles. So I haven't really been able to test fly it much. In fact, it's going to be in the house, but it's a cool little drone. I'm going to have an unboxing video up probably by tomorrow. So, you know, stay tuned for the unboxing. But hold on just for a second for Way Back Wednesday. I don't know if you guys, I'm going way back to the summer of 2015. This is called the 3DR Solo drone. It was a rival to the Phantom 3 Pro and the Phantom 4 at the time. It's a smart drone, GPS, has all the advanced features like the line fly and cable fly and a lot of that stuff. It has big brushless motors. It's a very heavy drone. Now, it doesn't come with its own camera. It's designed to be used with a GoPro, and it has a thing to stick it in the HDR port. And I don't have the battery on it, but it has a very large battery. It has no sensors on the bottom like the Phantom 4 does, but I haven't flown it yet. I just got it this weekend, unboxed it, hooked it up. It seems to, you know, work real good. And I got as part of the drone exchange with Mike Cruz, better known as Birdman 316. He had this, and he really didn't fly it much anymore, and he was looking to get rid of it. So I traded him, let's see, 1, 2, 3. I traded 4 drones, an action camera, a Xiaomi action camera, and a 2-axis phone gimbal. So, you know, some of the stuff I sent him was working, some wasn't. I mean, he knows the stuff he needed to fix. So the drone exchange program is a good idea. If you have a drone on the shelf or anything, any product related to the drone thing, like an action camera, you don't use it anymore. It works, but you don't use it anymore. And maybe somebody else has something that they don't fly anymore, you know, and you know, you kind of do the exchange, and then, you know, you know, I've always wanted a 3DR Solo, but I didn't get it. I mean, when these came out, these were over $1,500 without the camera. But, you know, so now I have something I always wanted, and Mike has a lot of stuff, you know, that he always wanted of mine. So it kind of works out good. So the drone exchange, I'd like to see more people trade something off that they don't use anymore to somebody else who may want it, and they may have something you want to use. Or, you know, it could be anything. Doesn't have to be a drone, but old drone for an old drone is you know, kind of a cool idea. In fact, Deadthomas and I are talking about doing a drone exchange. He has a drone he's going to show in a little while, and I'm going to go down in my drone room in the basement and find something to send him as part of the exchange. So, so that's really it. I'm going to throw it back to, well, I'm going to throw it over to Bill H, and he's going to talk about maybe something he has.
Yes, I do have something here, and this is it's called Private Eyes. It's by Vizio. Vizio. And it's a GPS enabled drone, and I received it to do a review on it, and it took forever. It took like about 9 weeks to get to me. I was real anxious to get this tested, and when I fired everything up, the directions were very vague, so I looked online and found better directions, and I charged the battery up, got the batteries in the controller, did everything, and it would not come. I mean, absolutely, those lights did not blink. I could not get this to work. So this is going to be in the drone exchange, and I think Ron and I are going to do something here, and he's more than welcome to take a look at it because he's had a little bit more practice with drones of this kind of caliber than I have, and he's more than welcome to. I would love to see a success story and him being able to get this fired up. I think that would be great.
Cool.
So is it my turn?
It's your turn.
Okay. Brian brought something up earlier in the chat, and you switched over to him before I could bring it up. He was talking about, he said, heads up, those flight features only work with the gimbal attached.
Oh, I have no gimbal.
Okay, so that's maybe, I don't know. So I was just seeing that. And mine for, what were you calling it, Ron? Way Back Wednesday or something?
Way Back Wednesday. You thought you liked that better than that's better than Retro Wednesday, right?
All I was trying to do was, because sometimes people just got started in drones and they might not have a way back, and they want to show off whatever drone they had. So instead, we can make it like, remember when you went to grade school and you took something to school for show and tell? So I
exactly
show our drones. I mean, that was just my idea. I love, the biggest thing that I love about your thing is the drone exchange, because I know I personally got like a bunch of nanos and stuff that I've already put in a box and just put in storage, because I don't fly them like I used to. Now, and just like they're saying, everybody's got drones laying around that they've used to fly a lot, but they don't fly anymore. And it might be a model that somebody else wants to try, or, has always wanted to try. I myself have kind of cut myself down to drones. So I do have some stored that I will like trade off, maybe carrying around and stuff like that. I don't know. I'm like one of those Scrooges with my drones. But what I wanted to share was, I know Brian's not real fond of the Tello, but I really like the way they have stuck with the firmware, done a lot of upgrades, done a lot of app upgrades. Unlike any of the other toy drones out there, they are still working on this drone to make it better. And I think that eventually we will get another Tello, and that we will also get an upgraded camera, maybe an SD slot, but something's making me think that it might have something to do with that SD card slot being in there, that has something to do with how the vision positioning works. I don't know. Maybe something to do with that frequency or something. I don't know. That's just speculation from me. And my other drone, and I still love this drone, is my Drocon Blue Bugs 3. This drone actually took a tumble down 150-foot pine tree back here behind my house, and there was a camera mounted on it. It was like I think it was, I'm not sure, but it was one of the action cameras. And so it caught the whole flight, even down to where it finally crashed underneath the pine tree. And you can actually, until I cut the props off, you can hear it kind of going click, 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 click. But yeah, there's a video of it. And to this day, she still flies great. And I love flying it. So, I mean, and these, when I got this, I think I got a deal on it with the help of John Coopy and a coupon, because I love blue. Blue's my favorite color. And so with the help of him, I think I got it for like $80. But now you can get them for like $40, $35. And the rare one now, when this first came out, this was the rare one. You can find these almost everywhere now. And the rare one's the original red. And I don't have a red. I've got 2 blacks that are in storage. And I've got this. But I want a red. Hey, there we go. I have 2 blacks. Somebody's got a red. I'll trade. I'll do part of the drone exchange. I got a black with a backpack too. All right, I'll tell you what. I'm going to throw it back to Ron to go a little bit more into his exchange, and I'll show this backpack. Ron.
Guess what? Guess what, Bill Thomas? Guess who's got original red bugs? I ordered it like the day DJ Soulforce did his review right after the holidays in, I guess, 2017. I've had the red bugs, since they first came out. As he would say, pal.
Look at this.
Oh, here comes Bill with the backpack.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Oh, looky.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It's still got the plastic on it. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Oh, let's take a look.
Do an unboxing, Bill.
Oh,
unbagging.
And what is it? Toki or whatever? What is it?
Oh,
I don't know for sure. Oh, Ron is checking. And then you open it up. The whole drone and everything's in here.
Oh, wow.
TX is on the bottom. It's got the the brand new. Like I said, you can see it's never been used. It's all still the tool.
Pristine.
Yeah. So, you know, I was kind of hoping to trade for a new red, but if it's not, yeah, we'll see.
I'm not giving up my red bugs.
Oh, okay. Okay.
You have to pry Ron's cold dead hands off that one, Bill.
Oh yeah.
No, I have to pull the batteries out of the TX.
And Bill was talking about the story about a crash and being okay. The Bugs 3 is one of the most durable drones ever made.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, it has powerful brushless motors. I mean, I've seen people fly it up against the Mavic Pro, and it's like on par with flying as fast as the Mavic Pro.
Wow, that's fast.
Of course, it's complete manual though, so you have to. You're flying that fast. You better know what you're doing.
Oh yeah.
No GPS to save you. But no, but it's a very durable drone. I've dropped mine, you know, hard a couple of times. I haven't done anything but put a tiny crack in the shell on the top, and you can replace that anyways.
It's like a manual throttle. I wouldn't call it a manual drone because I'm starting to learn with FPV that, you know, that's manual. But this
no, it definitely has a 6-axis gyro, and it'll stay stabilized for you. But it you know, it has no altitude hold. It has nothing. If you're not a full stick on it, it'll just drift away in the wind.
Oh yeah. Excuse me. I drank too fast. Oh, what are we saying in the chat? Sweet Flyer. Oh, Mike's got the same model. Oh, who's got the red bugs? Anybody got anything they want to talk about drones? Oh, yeah. Bill, didn't you post that? Or who was it or was it Dave that posted that? He posted something in Coast to Coast about how there was a new drone they were working on that when the GPS failed, it would basically turn the camera on the drone into an extra eye and use the visual positioning system and the camera so that it could see to avoid obstacles and stuff.
That's cool.
And then
I hadn't seen that.
You posted the other one about, what was it, about the Ice Rangers or whatever they were using?
Oh yeah, over in the UK. Yeah, that was from the BBC. That they're actually going out and being able to rescue people out on mountains with drones. Find them.
Let's see who all we got in here. I'm going to go rolling back here a little bit and see all the names that we didn't call out in the chat to begin with. Okay, actually, wow, we actually had a bunch of people. At the beginning, we had Kevin Fortner who came in and said he had to get up at 4 a.m. and he would watch the replay. So if y'all get a chance, say hi to Kevin somewhere down through the chat. Maybe he'll see that. Tell him working at 4 a.m. really sucks. Art was in early. Floyd was in early. Claude was in early. Ron was in early saying hi to everybody. I was there for a minute or two telling some words. Simon Saucy, hello, can I be a moderator? I didn't even see you while you were here, and then I guess you got impatient and left. Sorry, I'm slow, I'm old, and I'm a bucket list boy. But so Steve Carpenter made it in tonight. Thomas O'Sullivan was here. Idaho Sledhead is here. Bill. Everybody talking back and forth. Rick Halber, and then Mike came in, and Ron brought out the Solo to show everybody. I almost traded for a Solo. I almost traded my Spark for a Solo.
Oh wow!
All these horror stories came around, and Chris Hope is in here. Let's see who all else did.
Oh, look what Marcus just posted. Banggood has the Xeno on sale for $299.
What?
He just posted that. Check that out.
Oh wow! And I got a rumor for you guys. I heard that Hups is going to release a firmware update for the Xeno any day now. It's like it's going to drop, and hopefully it fixes the flight control issues. And Marcus Crawford, I've been working with him. He may have solved my Xeno color flash issue. Apparently, if you use a specific memory card, a SanDisk 32 gig U3 and formatted for FAT32, it'll eliminate the issues. I just got one and I installed it in the drone today, but it was like the weather wasn't good to fly around, so I kind of just walked around the house with it. But I haven't got to review the video yet. And another update, real quick. Birdman Cruz has some SEMA X8s that he would like to trade in the drone exchange. He posted in chats. If anybody's interested in a SEMA X8, Mike, I did a previous drone exchange with Mike a year or two ago. He sent me one of his X8s or whatever, and I had the HD camera for it too. It comes with a 1080p, like HD camera, and so I have a nice little setup with the old SEMA X8. It's an old not a brush flyer. It's a fully manual.
Well, I got an idea. We had set this up a couple of weeks ago. We already got the group set up and everything, because I'm eventually going to move Drone Therapy onto its own channel, and it's going to have its own group and everything. So, Ron, why don't we go ahead? You all go ahead if you want to get more involved. I think there's a link on the main channel page here on Coast to Coast Drones for the Drone Therapy group. If not, just search Drone Therapy on Facebook. You'll find the group. Go ahead and join up. We got a bunch of moderators in there. Bill, Ron, and myself are all admins, so we'll add y'all up. And Ron will go ahead and he will place an announcement in there, and maybe he'll entitle it the Drone Exchange. And people can go in there and they can type in their name and what drone they want to exchange and what drone they're looking to exchange for, and we'll start the ball rolling and see what happens. How about that?
That's fantastic.
There you go. Now, just a disclaimer here: we're not guaranteeing that any drones anybody receives are going to be working under perfect conditions or whatever. It's up to you and the person you hook up with to work out any details or agreements. We have nothing to do with any agreements between traders or whatever. We're just kind of facilitators, you would say, or but again, we make no claims that you're going to receive a good drone or whatever. So in other words, I wouldn't be trading my Mavic 2 Pro on the drone exchange. I'd be more like trading my SEMA X5 for something.
Well, basically, so what you're saying is the deals of the exchange are between exchangees. We're just we're facilitators. We're giving you all to the hookup or the way to kind of a bulletin board. There's like you had in the old grocery stores. You want to get a dog walker or something like that. There'd be something pinned up on the board. So that's basically all we're doing is giving you all a pinup board to try to set this up. Maybe if it gets bigger, we'll do more with it. And the cool thing is like with Ron's, the drone thing, we can also, like we're going to be limited on how many drones we can show each week. So we're more than happy to have you guys send in pictures of your favorite drones or retro drones or way back drones, however you want to do it, or your new drone or some camera that you've gotten, or maybe even some software you want to talk about. You're more than welcome to get a hold of any one of the three of us.
Kelly's in the house.
Hello, Kelly.
Hey, what's up? What's up?
Oh, Ethan just asked, so what do you guys think of the Xeno? Has anybody had hands-on with the FIMI X8 SE? Maybe jump in on that.
Ron has had hands-on with the Xeno, and Kelly, as you see in the chat, has had hands-on with the Xeno. And that $299 price is making me drool a little bit, and it goes right back to me saying Spark 2 is coming. Because
Bill, if they fix the flight controller on the Xeno and the thing flies, like it should fly, I mean, they've got the camera. I mean, again, I know it's soft. It's soft compared to the Mavic, but it's not soft compared to anything under $300. It's not soft compared to a Bugs 2 or anything like that. So, I mean, if they fix the flight controller and get it flying nice, it's going to be a heck of a buy for $300. I made that video that when I did that haunted tavern video. The drone video from that is from the Xeno. It's not from a Mavic or a Phantom. It's from the Xeno. I mean, I clipped it real good and I color graded it, but it's from the Xeno.
Dan the man is in the house and he hates the Xeno, which is
and he hates DJI. So I don't have a drone I can fly. Oh, wait a minute, Dan. Hold on. Here you go, Dan. Look, I got a real drone now, Dan. I got a real drone. I got a 3DR solo. So now I'm in the club.
Yep, we talked about it for a while too.
Yeah, there you go, Dan. I need your help. I need your help, brother.
The sleeper is going to be the X8 SE for $400. That's going to be what they're going to, because it's going to be chewing. It's going to be chewing on the Spark, and I don't know. I still think they're going to make another Spark. I really don't think they're going to make another Mavic Air. That's just my personal opinion. And along the lines, I think we're going to see somewhere within the next 2 years of the Phantom and Mavic are going to become something together, merged, and maybe even become this enterprise that, you know, could be out.
Favmic. The Favmic.
The Fav. You know, it's just all speculation as far as that's concerned. The only drone that I see coming is a new Spark. You know, and everybody said, well, the Air is the upgraded Spark, and I'm not for $700 or $800. It's not. The Spark they need something in the $350 range, and like I said, that new Femi drone is chomping at the bit. It's a bigger profile, but I think for that price, people are going to be like, sure, I'll take it.
Now you said $400, Bill. The list price is $499, but if you use Dustin Duddle's coupon, you can get it down to like about $420 or $425.
Well, I'm just saying that I'm figuring that they'll get as much as they can, like all of them do right at the beginning. Remember how Xeno was reduced if you bought early, then it went up for a little while, stayed that way for about 6 months, and then it trickled down. Now we're getting incredible deals, $200, $300, well, excuse me, not $200, but $300, you know, stuff like it was when it was the pre-release. So I honestly expect something similar to that with the Femi, just because they've got to break into the market. And that's just my opinion. I mean, I'm just speculating too there, but you know.
Right. I mean, well, you're right, Bill. They drastically lowered the price on what was the first Xiaomi drone? What was that called?
Okay.
The big one, the Phantom size one. I mean, that they drastically reduced the price on that. That thing's that thing's sells somewhere around $450 now. And it used to sell for what, $800 when it came out.
Yep. Yeah.
So they've drastically cut that. So you're probably right, Bill.
I mean, I'm like I said, it's just kind of a logical guess more than anything, and a feeling. It's just like you all been talking about the P5 forever. And the only drone that I keep thinking that they're going to come out with next is the Spark, is a new Spark. I don't know whether it would be a Spark 2 or a Spark Pro. Like Dan was saying, when we all been speculating, I think it's going to have that 3-axis gimbal from the Air. I think the frame is going to be very similar to what it is now, maybe a little bit bigger to support that gimbal and protect it a little bit more. I don't know about I think the battery is going to be the same as it was, but a little bit bigger. Or maybe they figured out some way to use the same size battery but get more juice out of it. Figuring 19 to 22 minutes, 4K.
Well, I'm hoping that they put the battery on top instead of on the bottom. I
just don't see that big of a redesign. I think that because we knew that the camera was capable of 4K before, and
right.
I think Dan was even telling me that somebody had jailbreaked it and made it film at 4K at like 24 or 25 frames a second. So that was kind of, didn't you say something like that? Dan, weren't you telling me about that? That somebody had jailbreaked it and was getting 24, 25 frames per second of 4K out of it? Oh, him and Kelly are talking about.
Yeah. Hey, Bill H.
Yeah.
When the Spark 2 comes out, when you fly up to New York for the event, make sure your plane lays over in Philadelphia, and I'll hop on the plane with you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, get a stop in Philly, and I'll jump on. I'll go and play with Bill the Drone Reviewer's shirt on or whatever. You know.
Yeah.
We'll invade New York City.
I'll have an extra shirt for you, Ron. No problem. You too, Bill. Come on over. I have plenty of my Bill the Drone Reviewer polo shirts. We'll go looking in there. Sharp.
We'll take over that event.
The Bucketlist Boys invade the DJI Spark 2 event.
Oh yeah,
It'll be called the Spark 2 event presented by the Bucketlist Boys.
Yes. Yeah, that would be hilarious.
We'll all leave with a review unit.
Yes.
That would be nice. But I mean, this is just kind of a. I mean, my biggest thing. The reason I said that because, like, when I got my first drone, it was a SEMA Exact clone. It was the ProMark P70 or whatever. Had like a little Bobo camera on it that articulated just up and down. And the first thing that I realized was that I could be having a bad day because at that point in time I worked in a fish factory. Not the best. Anyway, so I would be like really burned out and having a bad day. And after I'd gotten that drone, I went out and I flew it a little bit, and I was like, wow, this is really cool. And, you know, I got to see all the views and stuff that I knew there was no other way I could see them. And then I was like, oh, my stress is just kind of like melting away. And then I was like, oh, drones are therapeutic. And I went, what? Drone therapy. And then I was like, you know, this would be really cool if we could just, you know, we could talk about drones and talk about how that we release stress with playing with drones, and how, like, we, you know, if we're really into it and we're working on an upgrade or we're putting in a new board or something like that, we'd be like, I started at 8:30 and the next thing I know it was 2 a.m, you know, and those are cool stories, you know, because, you know, your brain and your body's loving every minute of that. So it's, you know, it's releasing all the chemicals that your body's just digging. So, and that's why you do it for so long, because it's something that you're passionate about. It's not something that's like a daily job and you're forced into doing it. And then for some people that are here, it's turned into a daily job, which is fantastic. I'm not saying that's my goal. I just love everybody hanging out, getting along, and loving flying drones. It doesn't matter to me what brand it was. Yes, I'm a bit of a fanboy for the DJI product, because it's well built. It does the job and it does what it's supposed to do. Support, I'm not going to. I will select not to discuss it. And with that, I'll throw it back to Ron.
Bill, I love your passion for the drones. And that's why I'm part of the Bucketlist Boys. And I've always been a fan of the drone therapy show, because of the passion you show for the hobby. And not just the passion of somebody that wants to build this huge channel up. You have a passion for flying, which is the most important thing, to heck with how many subscribers you have or this or that. It's just the passion for flying. It relieves your stress. And again, I just kind of vibe off of your passion or whatever. And I remember when I got my Phantom 4 was my second drone after the SEMA X5, and I watched every Phantom 4 video on YouTube. So I knew all what I had to do. I knew all the procedures and the calibrations and whatever. But when I first got the thing and charged the batteries and took it over to my local field for the first time, again, I'd only ever flown a SEMA X5 before, which had, like you said, a toy camera, and you know, you could only fly so many feet, and it was getting away from you. But I got this thing out, and I studied all my videos. When I first put the propellers on, lost it up the air, and just felt the way it handled the sticks, and looked at the FPV on the phone and saw how incredibly sharp it was. I mean, I had this big smile on my face, like, you know, where has this been all my life? I've never experienced anything like putting this up in the air. And I only probably flew it 200 yards down the football field and back, whatever. But it felt like I had arrived, and, you know, I was a professional drone flyer, and I couldn't wait to show my wife this video of the empty football field. You know, it was just an incredible feeling. That I wish I had a video of me doing all this and the smile on my face and whatever. It was like I did it all alone. Like, if nobody was with me, I'm just out here in the middle of this field. And again, I'll never remember that moment. How about you, Bill H? What's your first memory of flying your first drone? And
that's just one quick second, guys.
Hold on. Well, Thomas wants a channel update.
Yes, in the chat we have a very, very cool story from Mr. I'm sorry, Cole. I've lost your last name. That's like Somerville.
Oh, Somerville, Somerfield.
He says, today was the first time someone else was flying a drone where I live. I went up to talk to him, and he has a Mavic Air. And he was a total stranger, and we were talking like we were best friends.
There you go.
That's the whole thing, man.
That's it, man.
I mean, and of course now the cool thing, another cool thing that's going on, and I know that it's not actually cool because the company is kind of taking a disliking to them. But Kelly and Dan have realized that Hudson doesn't like either one of them because they don't particularly like their products. So there's a unique kinship there too. And back to Bill, the drone reviewer.
Well, you know, as Ron was talking, it brought back my memories of when I got my Autel X-Star Premium. And it was affectionately known as the Orange Pumpkin. I got the orange version of it. And it just impressed me right away when I opened the case up. Everything was in there. I mean, it was absolutely everything. It had 2 batteries with it, the controller. I mean, it just was so laid out. It had little extra parts with it. And then I went to a soccer field behind one of the churches here on a Sunday, it was on a holiday. It was right around New Year's, and nobody was there. And my wife was with me. And I'll tell you what, Ron, it was like that adrenaline rush that I got. So I got that up in the air. And then I realized after my first flight, I forgot to hit the record button. So I didn't record. Then I hit the record button. I was flying around. I wanted to keep it close, but yeah, there's just something about flying a drone that is just like, it releases endorphins I know it does for Bill, and I'm sure it does for you as well. It just feels good. It really does. It's just one of those feelings. And just getting it together and getting it up in the air, and I remarked to my wife on the way home, I says, I just can't believe what I did. I said, this is just absolutely fantastic. And ran home, got the SD card out of the drone, stuck it in my computer, and I'm looking at that film. I'm like, this is incredible. This is coming from an object that is 150, 200 feet up in the air, and it's given me just unbelievable footage. It just blew me away. And from that moment on, I was just absolutely positively hooked. It really just dove in there. And, one of the things I'll never forget was, getting on the forums and what's his name? I'm sorry, the Autel guy who just passed, Bill's friend. I can't. Hey, Bill.
Thank you. Bill, are you there?
Heath.
He dove in and helped me with a battery issue that I was having with one of the batteries. And he said, just send it back. I called him up. Not only did they said, don't send it back, we'll send you a new one. I mean, Autel's customer, that's one thing that impressed me was their customer service was very responsive, and their hardware just was absolutely crazy. The big problem that they've had was their software, I think. But I've heard their software has been getting better. So, but yeah, that was my first experience with that, and I just absolutely got hooked after that.
Well, thanks for sharing that. Thanks for sharing that, Bill. It's a great story.
And that was so cool, though, that I got to see that from. I just happened to see that in the chat, and because I could see Dan and Kelly were talking back and forth, and then when he said that, he just happened to see one. Now I have seen a couple of drones in my area, but this is what's so funny. I have to get clearance to fly up to 200 feet because I live close to an airport. But the cool thing is our airport is one of the first ones in the country that I can actually just enter it in through the DJI app and get clearance from them, so I don't have to call. Okay, well, I haven't flown in eons because the weather's been horrible. So I really don't know for sure if it works, and I'm kind of wondering about trying it. But anyway, we're standing out in the yard, and about 400 feet above my head, I swear it had to have been a Mavic Pro Platinum. And it was full sport mode, and it was just flying over my house straight towards the airport. And I'm thinking, oh, no. So anyway, it must have went ahead and peeled off and stopped shy of the airport, thank goodness, because I didn't hear anything about it in the news. But then we go, probably about 2 months ago, we go down by the harbor. Because my big passion and why I got into drones so much was that I had seen a friend of mine taking pictures with his Phantom 4, and it was just a Phantom 4. And I was like, oh, those pictures are gorgeous. So, and I love film and photography and stuff like that. So that's kind of why I went that direction. And I noticed also that Ken Herron dropped into the chat while we were kind of talking back and forth about our first drone days. And so I just had to have it. And that's like we were talking about the Phantom 4. And here I go with DJI Fanboy again. And I'm going to stop and go back to Ron Brown.
That's another great story, Bill. I saw Ken's in there. I want to say hello to Ken Herron, who's in the chat now. Everybody's greeting him very warmly. Ken's got his show on Thursday night at does Ken start at 8 o'clock p.m. Ken, can you confirm is your show 8 p.m. or 8:30 on Thursday nights? But Ken has a great show. He always has great topics, great guests. He just put up a video recently. We flew at a great this Gothic church in the middle of I'm not sure where it was, what state it was in, but he just flew a great church lately. So thanks for posting that video, Ken.
And yeah, like if you're not already subscribed to Ken's channel, or if you're not already subscribed to Kelly's channel, please go by and subscribe to their channel. Make sure you hit that bell so that anytime that they're live, you'll get notified. Anytime that they post a new video, you'll get notified so that you can go watch it at your earliest convenience.
Okay, it's 7 p.m. Central for Ken's show, 8 p.m. Eastern. So don't miss it. We'll see you there on Thursday night.
Something else I wanted to bring up is that Mr. Ed Ricker is very, very, very close to 100,000 subscribers. So if you are not subscribed to Ricker Life, or that's his FPV channel. Yeah, that's Ricker Life, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, Ed Ricker Vlogs is what he's trying to get over. So if you're not already subscribed to Ed, go out and check his channel. He's got lots of tutorials, tons and tons of reviews, lots of video and editing, tutorials and ideas and stuff. Lots of really great, informational videos too.
I got an Ed Ricker story that I want to share with you, Bill, real quick. Okay. I met Ed at the event in New York City, the See the Bigger Picture event, and I told him, I said, well, first of all, I was surprised how tall he was, because it's just you don't get a perception of how tall people are until you meet them and see them in person. And I saw like, hi, Ed. I'm looking up. One of the things I told him was, I said, I learned my Mavic Pro from watching your video. Okay, the video it has like 1 million views or something. It's like crazy insane. But I told him that I said, Ed, that was my Bible for the Mavic Pro. That's I watched it, I digested it, I could probably repeat parts of it verbatim. He said, thank you very much. He says somebody encouraged him. I think he told me the story behind it. He said, why don't you go out there and just, a friend suggested, just do a video on how to do things with it. And he did, and it evolved. And it was just one of those things. He really didn't, I don't want to use the word accident, but, it wasn't purposeful. He was just trying to show people and be helpful. And I told him, I said, wow, I said, it's still something. I said, up until I sold my Mavic Pro, it's something I would go back to every day. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I just thought Ed's just such a great guy. And if you guys aren't subscribed to his channel, please do so. And he is one of the friendliest, nicest people you'd ever want to encounter in person.
Yeah, and I've known Ed well through the internet and chatting and stuff. I think when I first started following Ed, he had either 12,000 or 17,000 subscribers. I don't know, but he was very polite and open to me, even though I was a bit of a snit, and he put up with my crap. And so I can be a snit from some time to time, in case you didn't notice. Yes, but anyway, but yeah, we're going to start having some different guests on. Hopefully we can get some of the people that we've had on before. I want to give a shout out to Ryan Duvall at RD's drone reviews and such on his channel. He broke like 1 million views, and he had one of his videos actually get 100,000 views. So that was really cool. He was really happy about that. And so it was really cool that's going to, I'm going to talk to him, try to get him back on. I think we're here in a couple of weeks. You're going to have John Cupion, and a really good friend of mine, Nemo from Runs Facebook, and we're going to try to go. They're going to try to help me get a little more introduction to the FPV racing. And next week, hopefully, if everything works out well, we're going to have Mr. Hugh North from Asgard Studios, because he's come up with these really cool drone grading cards that I just love. And say here next, when we start winding up the show, I might show a video or something from his, so you all can kind of get an idea of what we might be in for next week. And I'm hoping everything works out and that he can come on. But if not, we'll still be here doing our crazy drone stuff. Anybody else got anything?
Hey, Bill, I got a special guest that's about to come on the show right now. Bill H, look up. Here it is. Peter Frampton's our guest this week. Frampton Comes Alive. This is Bill H. is the first album you ever bought in college or something. What's the story again?
Yes. My mother wouldn't let me buy the album, so when she dropped me off for my freshman year in college, I walked down to Woolworths. Okay, I'm going to date myself here. Went down. She gave me $50 to get warm blankets. That was my warm blanket right there. Came back to the dorm room, opened the windows, opened the door, cranked it up, got it on my turntable. I wore the grooves out in that one.
Bill, I got a quick question for you.
Okay.
What is the first song on side 2 of Frampton Comes Alive? No Wikipedia.
Okay. Now I know on side 1, side 2.
Well, I'll help you. Side 1 starts out with the introduction, but you picked the first song on side 2 because it's a big hit. It's not like a obscure song. It's one of the more popular ones from the album.
Oh, do you feel like we do?
Hold on, close. Let's see what I don't even know. That's side song 2 side. Side 4 only has 2 songs. That's the last song on the album.
Okay.
This is another big hit from the record.
Show Me the Way.
No, that's on side 1. One more guess.
Oh man,
Claude said if you got it the first time that Ron would have had to ship you the record, but that's against Facebook.
Something's happening.
That's the very first song on side 1. Okay, here it is, Bill. It's All I Want to Be Is By Your Side.
By Your Side. Okay,
that's a great tune.
Man.
Yes.
Oh.
And
that's gold. That album is gold in my book.
I want to do the drone exchange, but I won't send this for that private eyes.
Oh, I'll throw some cash with that, Ron.
Oh, look, hey, here's a Peter Frampton trivia question. I don't even know the answer. I forget. What group was Peter Frampton in before he started his solo career?
Oh, that's a good question.
And I forget the answer to my own question. I was hoping you would know it. He was in a group and then he went solo. But anybody in the chat room, who knows Peter Frampton's group before he went solo? And Bill's going to Wikipedia it.
I'm going to Wikipedia.
While we're waiting on the chat room. Probably nobody in the chat room. Well, people like Dan probably don't even remember Peter Frampton.
Ken might. Kelly might.
Hey, wait a minute. Ken Heron used to be a radio DJ. He should know this. Ken Heron. What group is Peter Frampton in? You're a big. Hey, if Ken Heron knows it, can you throw him that thing and have him come on the screen with us? Ken, if you can name it. If you can name Peter Frampton's group before he went solo, jump on the show with us and say it. Frampton's Camel, that was a great album. Humble Pie, Idaho Sledhead. Wins something. Humble Pie. Congrats to Idaho Sledhead. You're the winner. We're gonna have you on the show sometime because of that.
Yes, everybody that's in the chat.
Oh yeah, he was also with the Herd too.
Okay, but I was looking for Humble Pie is the one I was thinking of.
Anybody?
Most people think he's from Australia. He's from the UK.
Yeah, I think I knew that.
Yeah, he was Kent, England.
And Bill, you talked about him going soft to ruin his career, but another thing happened too. Remember, at the height of his success, he was in a terrible car accident in the Caribbean. I mean, he almost died, and I think he needed plastic surgery, and that kind of disrailed him a little bit too.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But okay, that is the Peter Frampton segment of the of drone therapy for tonight.
No, I'm just saying, Bill, are you with us? Bill.
Hello.
Now he's reading the entire Wikipedia biography of Peter Frampton right now. And who could blame him? Hey, if we could play about what 10 seconds of Peter Frampton here before the we would get taken down. You're allowed to play a few seconds of something before they take you down. We'll have to who has the ability to pipe a little Peter Frampton into this feed? Just less than 10 seconds.
Ken Herron was in the bathroom first time since his colonoscopy.
Congrats, Ken.
Yeah, congrats on that, Ken.
Was it a nugget or was it a full blown?
Did everything come out all right?
Were you reading?
Well, we know how we know Ken's over 50 if he's having his colonoscopy, so he can't claim he's under 50 anymore.
But hey, you got that shortcut thing now. Have y'all not seen it? Or at least we got it out here. And this has got to be a unique. I need a shortcut for my next one. You can get a thing, and you put a piece of paper and it hovers, and you do your business, and you get a swab, and then you send it to the lab, and you don't even have to go through the bullcrap but you got to do it once a year instead of once every.
Oh, here we go. Hold on. Remember, only 10 seconds.
I don't think the computer could even figure out what it was.
That was hold on. That was Show Me the Way, right? Which is one of the great cuts on the album.
There you go. That's a ticket. That's another bucket list ticket that I'll have to get.
Hey, Ken Herron, when you were a DJ, did you ever play Frampton Comes Alive on the radio?
Hey, Ron, Ken Herron is still a DJ.
Oh.
Yeah, he's still a DJ. he runs a country station in Tennessee, a country music station in Tennessee.
Okay, I guess Frampton would make his airplay.
A lot of different stations. I'm sure sometime in his career he has played Frampton. I would not be surprised at all. Oh, what's the deal? Did I put a
Ready, Set, Rose says, "Baby, I Love Your Way." Great song. That is a great song, Kelly. One of my all-time favorites from Frampton.
Yeah.
Maybe we can get the real Peter Frampton on here sometime, Billy.
Oh, would that be a hoot? Ken Herron.
Classic rock. See, right there, I told you. Yes, I worked classic rock for many years, so he has played Frampton.
Of course, he's from Philadelphia. Philadelphia is like the home of classic rock radio, right, Ken?
That's right.
Nobody knows classic rock like us Philadelphians.
I think we all kind of had the rite of passage in our, especially at least I got one for you.
Okay.
First car, you hooked up your 8-track tape player and your in-home stereo speakers so that you could have more audio.
Right.
You were back there and you were in the trunk and you were wiring it in. And you were like, well, what have you got? I've got 2 car speakers. I got 3 stereo speakers. And that was before we really even knew about amplifiers and getting more stuff. It was just, even though you could crank it up and it was like really loud and you couldn't understand any of the words, it was like, and you'd be like, yeah, man, yeah. And you'd be driving down the road. Yeah, what's up, man?
1973 Plymouth Satellite 383 V8.
Oh.
And my dad and I, we mounted a Pioneer 8-track underneath. We drilled it, mounted it underneath where the radio was, plugged it into the fuse box, okay, and had to put some electrical tape over it so it wouldn't fall out. And he and I had cutouts in the back for where the rear speakers are, put them in, ran the wires back there, and then we put it in, and it all worked, and it was great. And then my mom said, "What is this junk? Take it out of the car."
Oh, and okay, Ken was saying, and Ron even asked him, he says he worked at WMMR in Philadelphia.
That's one of the great rock stations in Philadelphia history.
Yeah, that we were talking about, because Frampton is going to have one last tour. And he got a rare degenerative nerve disease or something. Yeah. So he's only going to play for one more year. And that's like, I'm like, those tickets are going to be ridiculously priced. But it's like one of those like, you mean I didn't get to go see him? It's like I had chances to go see Queen when I was younger, and I didn't go, and I could kick myself.
I know what you're saying.
I won't tell you. I saw Frampton and Queen when I was a young man.
Now I've seen some. I saw Jerry a bunch, which was super cool,
right?
And I got to meet some of the best people in the world, and I've been in some of the biggest crowds. I remember we went to Highgate, Vermont, and the thing that was so funny was on Franklin's airfield, and the stage was set under Franklin's Tower, which happens to be one of their big 3-song, triplets that they play, and everybody goes bananas over when they start rolling into it. And what happened was they didn't really set it up good, and they didn't understand the volume of hippies that were following the Dead at that point in time. And so basically what happened was the next day on the Burlington Press, there was this huge helicopter photo from above, and it said, "Free concert as 92,000 Deadheads descend on Highgate."
Wow.
It was
cool. Not to interrupt you, but everybody's listing their old classic cars in the chat. Bill, you do this better than me. Shout out some of these cars.
70 Ford LTD 351. My dad had a 66 Plymouth Satellite 383 V8. Idaho Sled had a 70 GTX. Kelly said he had a 67 Buick Electra with a 434 barrel carb and a JVC cassette deck. Wow, some good stuff.
I had a 1970 Dodge Duster, got in a fight with a semi truck, but managed to even out the score.
Oh,
yeah. It was kind of weird. We were driving up the highway, and it's kind of funny that we're talking about those stereo speakers. And he was in the right-hand lane. I was in the passing lane, and then he gave a signal and started to come over towards my lane, but he didn't come into my lane, and I was still, a brand new driver. I was like 16 and a half years old. I had me, my girlfriend, and my mom in the back seat, and we were going to the nearest mall at that point in time, which was like 50 miles away from where I lived. So he came over. I got scared. I slammed on the brakes, and at that point in time, he didn't have anti-lock brakes. It locked up. The car went towards the semi and was in front of the trailer wheels. And I was praying, oh God, please don't go in the tires. Please don't go in the tires. And the hood popped up and rolled out of the trailer and pushed us away from the tractor.
Whew.
Yeah. Oh, an MG Midget. I had one
mag wheels too.
Yeah, I had a friend that lived up the street from me. I had a lot of those. My uncle, who was in the service, had an MG Midget. He took a lot of care of too.
Okay, here's one for you guys. Listen to this. My mom needed to get my parents needed to get a second car, and so she answered a want ad, and it was on the south side of Pittsburgh. It was a 1969 Pontiac GTO olive drab green with a black top, 5-speed. Okay, 24 hours. My mom said she couldn't handle it. Said the car was too rough around the corners, and we kind of sold the car back to the guy who we bought it from. That kicks me to this day because I see how much those are worth right now. 69 GTO. Oh,
so you like to have that. You like to have that car in the garage under cover at this point, huh?
You got that right, Ron. I'm telling you, man, that was a classic, and we had it for 24 hours. I was almost crying, and so was my dad. I was like, "Oh no!" I was like a year away from being able to drive, and I was like, "No, we're not taking this car back, are we?"
Ken's taking off. He said he's going to get ready for tomorrow night. So again, we will announce to make sure to check out Thursday Night Live over on Ken Herron's channel tomorrow night, as he's going to have some interesting subjects, just like we do here on Drone Therapy, to discuss. He's going to have some creative and fantastic guests. So I noticed that we're getting towards the end of the evening. We've all had a blast, but we were talking about the car thing, and there's one car, not my first car, but there's one car in my past that I rode really hard, and was mean to her, and I shouldn't have been, and I wish I had her back now. It was a Ford Escort GT Turbo.
Wow.
And it was a front-wheel drive car that would bark the tires in 4 gears.
Wow.
Huh.
That might have been why I don't have it anymore.
That was the best car you ever owned?
Huh?
That was the best car you've ever owned?
That was the car that I wanted back. I'm not saying it was the best car I ever owned, because when I first got it, I had the perfect mechanic for it. He knew the car inside out and upside down. And it purred like a kitten the whole time he had it. And I mean, it screamed. Well, what happened was, after I had the car for 2 years, he retired, and there was nobody else that really knew the car. And I made the mistake of believing someone knew what they were doing, took the car to them, and they said, okay, the turbo's blown. You're never going to get it to work again. And we took it off, and we can fix it for you and make it run straight without the turbo. And I was like, okay. And so they started doing that. And then I said, after a couple of weeks, I went and I said, okay, I need the turbocharger back. I said, because I'm going to ship it off and see if I can't get it rebuilt. And they're like, oh, well, it's not here. We threw it away. I said, what?
Oh.
It's like, you can't do that, man. And they kind of hummed and hawed me and matter of fact me. And, you know, and I'm like, it just so happened that one of them was a relative, you know, a cousin. And so I really didn't push the issue. But I mean, I had people that were willing to rebuild that turbocharger for me and all this. And you know, anybody's going to think something. They're going to say, wait a minute, you took it to a mechanic and then the part just kind of disappeared. You never saw it again. What's the first thing you're going to think?
It got sold.
Yeah, exactly. Because like you heard, everybody in the chat was like, Ford Escort GT Turbo. And I'm like, yeah, you know, and it was, what was it? They made it, the same engine was in the Ford Mustang SVO. Do you all remember that? It was the same motor that was in that Mustang. And it was in a Ford Escort. And I mean, it was vicious. So I just wanted to bring that up. It was the one car I'd like to have back, because Bill was talking about how he wished that they had that car back. And
oh yeah.
No, I have a similar story to you. I had an '88 Alfa Romeo that I've had forever, and I had these two mechanics that worked on it. And they knew the car well; they could keep it going, and it didn't cost me a lot of money. Well, the two mechanics retired, so I had to go to another mechanic, and he started, you know, charging me a fortune for everything. So I said, "Oops, time to sell this car or whatever," because you know, it was too expensive. I would still have the car if my mechanics wouldn't have retired, because they always kept it going. I mean, I only drove the car, you know, like 500 miles a year or something like that, you know, at the end. But so I wasn't looking to put, like, you know, thousands of dollars in it at that point. So, but again, if my mechanics wouldn't have retired, I'd probably still have it in the garage under its cover.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, so it's pushing 20 minutes till 7. We've already been on for an hour and 10 minutes. I'm, like I said, extremely grateful for having everyone on tonight. If everything goes well, we will have Mr. Hugh North of Asgard Studios on next week. And if something else comes up, we're still going to be here, and we're still going to be talking about drones. And if we get burned out on drones, who knows? We might be talking about albums or film, or let's talk about processing 35 millimeter film next time. Who knows? I'm going to roll it around the room and let my friends say goodnight to everybody. Mr. Bill, you take it away.
All right. Bill, thanks so much. It was a great evening tonight. I think we had another great show. Great participation from the chat. Thank you, everybody that showed up tonight. That was great. You guys helped make this show. That's absolutely fantastic. I'm very thankful for this channel, and I'm very thankful for Bill. And I think Ron echoed it best when he said, you know, Bill's here because he loves drones, and he wants to share that, and he has a passion for it. He's not about building a huge channel or getting a huge following. He wants people to enjoy drones and to get the word out about that. And that's why I became a part of the Bucketlist Boys. And I hang with Bill, and his knowledge is incredible. I'm just so grateful to be a part of this. And I'm very grateful for Ron and Ron's knowledge too. And, you know, he brings a passion and an excitement to drones as well. And I think the three of us go very well together. I'm very, very thankful and very appreciative of that. And, as I said last night on my channel, and I'd like to echo the sentiments as well, support other drone channels, guys. You know, we're all in this together. We want to get out the good word about drones. You know, I use that hashtag drones for good an awful lot. And I'd like for everybody to remember that. That's what we're all about. We use these for good. We have fun with them. And, you know, it's been a blast. And, you know, support each other, get out there, you know, comment on other videos, like other videos, give that support and encouragement that everybody needs. I know I need it. Bill needs it. Ron needs it. You know, it helps us and encourages us to continue to get out great content, to do great shows like this. So thank you again, Bill. Thank you, Ron. And I'm going to pass it over to Mr. Ron Brown right now.
First of all, I want to thank Bill H for his great words. They were very kind, you know, about me and Bill Thomas also. I really appreciate that, Bill.
Oh, you're welcome, Ron.
And I'm going to want to thank both of you guys for having me be a part of the Bucketlist Boys. I really enjoy this show, and I love making a guest appearance on Bill H's other shows, Bill the Drone Reviewer. And I also, but especially want to thank the people in the chat room tonight. You guys were great. You know, you kept the conversation going. You made many great comments out there, great stories. I love when you guys were talking about all your old cars you used to have, your muscle cars. I mean, this is a great place to be. And I also want to thank Peter Frampton for being on the show with us tonight. And I want to extend an invitation for Peter to come on the show anytime he wants to. Maybe he can come on during his tour. Maybe his last performance ever could be on the Drone Therapy Show. You know, we're going to contact Peter and see what he thinks. He doesn't quite have his hairdo anymore, but, you know, we will try to get him on. So that's all I got really for you tonight. So I'm going to throw it back to Bill Thomas and let him take us out tonight.
And I thank you, gentlemen. And the thing about it is our friendship grows every week that we seem to hang out together, and the more that we hang out together, the more our minds click together, because tonight's show absolutely had no plan whatsoever. We just kind of hooked up about half an hour again before we started the show, kind of roughly went over some stuff, and we kind of do our power venting before we come on, because we've noticed that that's something that's really great to do before you do a live stream, is if you, or especially if you're going to have a guest, if you can, or before you even go live, it's just kind of anything that's bugging you that day or anything that's stressing you for that day, discuss it before you go live so that you don't slip while you're live. And that way it's much more entertaining, and you don't make a butthole of yourself by saying the wrong thing or something that might get a YouTube flag, God forbid. So with that being said, like I said, please come back next week and join us for Mr. Hugh North. I will give a shout out to Hugh, as today is his 50th birthday, and that was why he couldn't be on the show tonight, and I moved it to next week. So again, like I said, he's the creator. His channel is Asgard Studios, so you know, along the Thor lines and everything. So jump over there and check out his channel. Hopefully he'll be here next week. If not, the rest of us are always going to be here, because we're the Bucketlist Boys. And we want you to come and have fun talking with drones and whatever else we come up with before the end of the night. With that being said, live long and prosper. Live long and prosper. Oh, and yeah, Leonard Nimoy will be mad at me for flubbing that. Good night, folks.